On the vast savannas of Africa, each hunt often begins in silence before everything changes in an instant. A sudden acceleration, a precise approach, the outcome seems predetermined, but not always, when even the strongest predators can lose their advantage in a matter of seconds. What causes those seemingly certain approaches to fail to deliver the expected result? In vast grasslands, wildebeest maintain a highly vigilant, large-scale herd response. When one individual detects danger, the entire herd moves almost immediately, even if the threat is not yet apparent. They disperse and then quickly regroup in the same direction, creating a state of organized chaos. This pattern becomes apparent as distance narrows, initiating the approach phase. In that approach, the lion actively cut across the group to isolate the cub at the edge of the savanna. It accelerated and nearly reached the point of contact. At that moment, the targeted cub turned, pointing its horns straight ahead and lunging forward, then swung sideways in the direction of the approaching cub. This counter-movement forced the lion to veer off course and lose momentum. After the counterattack, the pursuit became ineffective, the chase became chaotic, the advantageous position was lost, and gaps opened up. The lion could not lock onto the specific cub and had to stop. Meanwhile, the wildebeest quickly rejoined the pack, ending the struggle with the prey gaining the advantage. Coordination within the pack proved clearly effective in this situation. Constantly changing direction reduced the predator's ability to pursue. When the rhythm of movement was maintained, the prey quickly escaped control in a very short time. In open areas, hyenas maintain a tight social structure, with females often taking on a leadership role. They operate in groups, actively encircling and cutting off escape routes rather than attacking individually. Their diverse vocalizations allow them to call for reinforcements and coordinate positions quickly. When distance is reduced, this coordinated approach quickly creates a stable pressure on their opponents. The gap closed, forcing the lion to act quickly before the hyena pack could close the circle. It lunged, attempting to separate one from the pack. As soon as it got close, a group circled around behind, forcing the lion to turn sharply. Simultaneously, others fanned out to the sides, disrupting its approach. Unable to maintain a stable position, the lion retreated under pressure from multiple directions. The hyenas kept their distance, taking turns closing in and leaving no gaps. After a short distance, the lion had to leave its position, while the hyena pack maintained control. This sequence of events demonstrates the effectiveness of group coordination. Being pressured from multiple sides reduces the likelihood of a single reaction. When coordination is maintained, control is quickly established, and the target disappears from reach. In the vast savanna, African elephants move across grasslands, woodlands, and even semi-deserts in search of water and food. An adult weighs many tons, capable of knocking down large trees and trampling enemies to death. Their trunks are powerful enough to whip opponents. This advantage persists until the formation widens, and small changes in distance begin to be noticed. As soon as the direct approach began, the lion moved around and cautiously closed the distance, gradually maintaining its position as its speed increased. But at the precise moment the distance reached its limit, the zebra spun around and delivered a powerful kick with its hind legs, concentrating all its force into the target, enough to disorient the lion and completely disrupt the pursuit, instantly destabilizing the advantage. With the advantage broken, the balance reversed almost immediately. The lion was stunned and stopped, losing its ability to maintain the close, while the zebra took advantage of that moment to accelerate and widen the gap. In just a few short seconds, the chance of pursuit vanished completely, forcing the predator to retreat at a disadvantage. From that reversal, in open space, early observation combined with precise counterattacks creates a decisive difference. The kick not only halts momentum, but completely eliminates control. And thus, when the movement is maintained continuously, the outcome is decided in an irreversible direction. In the murky rivers and mudflats of Africa, crocodiles remain in their familiar habitat. The murky water and thick reed beds provide effective hiding places, especially at the animal's entry and exit points. Nile crocodiles often lie close to the shore, silently waiting for an opportunity. This ambush hunting method leads to unexpected confrontations. It was in one such situation that a large crocodile became trapped on dry land and was quickly spotted. Lions formed a formation around it to control the distance. As the encirclement closed, the pressure increased with each advance. When the distance was close enough, the crocodile reacted and engaged in direct confrontation. From that point on, the crocodile continuously adjusted its body direction to maintain a safe distance. The lions advanced but stopped when the risk increased significantly. The attack rhythm was interrupted, and the formation lost its initial pressure. A gap appeared, allowing the crocodile to move to the water's edge and back into the river, forcing the lions to retreat. The results showed that, on land, crocodiles can still maintain control within a short range when the timing is right. The lion's numerical advantage is not enough to make a difference when the risks increase rapidly. The encounter ends when the crocodiles return to the water and the lion. In the African grasslands, warthogs maintain a defensive lifestyle with clear reflexes, always prioritizing safety before confrontation. They retreat into their burrows with their heads and tusks facing outwards to maintain a defensive posture, and upon detecting danger, they immediately zigzag back to their familiar hiding place, thus quickly escalating any approach from behind into a direct chase. From being drawn into the chase, The lion pursued from behind, attempting to cut across the warthog's path. It accelerated to close the gap as the warthog charged forward. But in the same rhythm of movement, the warthog maintained a steady zigzag trajectory at high speed, forcing the lion to constantly adjust its direction and preventing it from locking onto the warthog's position. This gradually eroded the advantage of close pursuit. As the advantage diminished, the distance could no longer be reduced further. The lion lost momentum, and its speed decreased significantly after the prolonged chase, while the warthog maintained its momentum and widened the gap. This quickly eliminated the opportunity for pursuit, forcing the predator to stop and retreat, putting it in a passive position. In that passive state, defensive reflexes combined with maintaining the rhythm of movement made the decisive difference. The zigzag run not only disrupted the approach, but also completely broke down the ability to control. And when the movement was maintained continuously, the outcome was irreversibly decided. African buffaloes are distinguished by their superior strength, weighing from 1,100 to nearly 2,000 pounds. Their large, curved, and thick horns form a hard protective shield in front of their heads. Their well-developed neck and shoulder muscles help them withstand force and react directly. Those that have been hunted before are often more alert and remember the danger, so they react more quickly when the distance is reduced. From a distance, the lion quickly spotted the herd of buffalo and chose to approach from the edge of the bushes. It charged in immediately, trying to separate a target at the edge of the herd. But as soon as it got close, the buffalo turned and lined up, shifting to a direct confrontation. One buffalo advanced straight ahead, gathering its strength and butting forcefully, forcing the lion to dodge and lose momentum. The momentum was broken, rendering the attack unsuccessful. The subsequent butt sent the lion flying and tumbling, forcing it to retreat. The buffalo maintained its formation, adjusting its position and blocking all escape routes. The hunt ended when the lion gave up, and the buffalo maintained control. This sequence of events demonstrates that strength lies not only in the individual, but also in spatial coordination. Maintaining position and distance reduces the risk of a direct confrontation. When conditions change, coordination determines whether control is maintained or lost. In the vast grasslands, impalas maintain a state of alert as they move in herds. Even a small signal, such as a sharp breath or a sudden jump, is enough to alert the entire group. Upon detecting danger, they don't maintain formation but quickly disperse in various directions. This reflex helps to confuse predators and reduce the chances of being targeted, especially as distance begins to narrow. When the distance became unsafe, the lion left the low grass and began tracking the impala herd. It lunged in and nearly locked onto one of their movements. But at that very moment, The impala herd changed direction simultaneously. One impala, cornered, swerved sharply, causing the pursuit to veer off course and the opportunity to be lost. The pursuit became unstable. The lion slowed down and lost its focus. It stalled just as the opportunity slipped away. The impala herd quickly rejoined, and the chase ended as the prey vanished in seconds. The outcome of each hunt depends not only on strength, but also on how each species reacts in the crucial moment. The combination of instinct, environment, and timing makes the stark difference between success and failure. When these factors change in an instant, even the top predator doesn't always maintain the advantage. Not the strongest on the savanna, but packs of African wild dogs always know how to turn the vast space to their advantage in every hunt. They don't rely on superior strength, but on speed, coordination, and situational awareness to turn fleeting moments into decisive opportunities. What allows a predator that isn't bigger or stronger to consistently overwhelm seemingly superior opponents? African wild dogs live on vast grasslands, savannas, and scrublands, where the open terrain allows them to easily spot prey from afar. They move constantly across their expansive territory, utilizing open space to maintain speed and coordination. This environment has created one of Africa's most resilient and effective predator species. The instinct of a wild dog doesn't rely on individual strength, but on the close coordination of the pack. Each member takes on a specific role, from pursuing to blocking the prey's escape route. They persistently wear down their target before subduing them. It is this teamwork and precise coordination that has earned this predator its reputation. On the sub-Saharan grasslands of Serengeti and Masai Mara, lions follow migrating wildebeest herds, operating around water sources and familiar migration routes. With their weight of 150 to 250 kilograms and incredibly strong shoulders and necks, a well-timed pounce can bring down large prey in seconds, giving them a clear advantage in a direct confrontation. However, on the savanna, that advantage doesn't always belong to the stronger animal. Therefore, the situation quickly reversed in the open field when the pack of wild dogs spotted the lioness moving alone. Instead of attacking immediately, they fanned out in an arc, expanding their formation and gradually closing in on her. When the lioness turned, the encirclement instantly tightened. One individual sprinted forward, pulling the entire pack to press from multiple directions, forcing the lioness to constantly turn in a defensive position. Under the ever-increasing pressure, the lioness gradually lost control. All approaches blocked. She counterattacked, but each turn exposed a gap behind her. With no other choice, she sprinted to break through the encirclement, leaping through a fragile opening to escape. The pack of dogs only pursued for a short distance before stopping. Not needing to subdue her, but simply forcing her to retreat, and the outcome was immediately decided. From this sequence of events, it can be seen that in this confrontation, individual strength was no longer the decisive factor. It is the coordination, rhythm, and ability to maintain pressure as a group that breaks the advantage of the larger predator, a harsh rule that repeats itself relentlessly on the savanna. Following the rainy season on the vast grasslands of Africa, wild buffalo migrate in herds to find new sources of grass. In the Serengeti, they often choose areas with thick grass and a clear enough view to detect danger from afar. Weighing between 500 and 900 kilograms, and with thick, curved horns acting as a shield in front, they maintain a clear advantage in direct confrontation. The pack of wild dogs followed from a safe distance as the buffalo herd passed through the dusty, dry grass. They didn't rush to attack, instead shifting direction and observing. The rhythm changed when a young buffalo fell behind. Pressure mounted from multiple directions, with groups advancing and forcing the target out of the herd's protective zone. Separated from the herd, the young buffalo tried to turn back but couldn't maintain its direction. The pack of wild dogs maintained pressure and blocked its path, narrowing its range of movement. The distance decreased as the prey lost speed. In a short time, it was subdued. The situation changed. The advantage shifted to the pack of wild dogs. In the grasslands and forest edges of Africa, hyenas live in large packs of up to 50 to 80 individuals. They maintain cohesion through sound, scent, and behavioral signals, reacting quickly to changes in the area. When competing for food, their numbers help them maintain a strong position. Their powerful jaws allow them to process the carcass remnants left behind by many other species. In the area where the carcass was freshly laid, the pack of wild dogs appeared scattered from various directions, maintaining their distance. They moved slowly, constantly changing their approach points and observing the hyena pack's reaction. The space between the two groups gradually narrowed, forcing the hyenas to distract themselves and constantly adjust their positions. As their concentration diminished, some of the hyena pack retreated. A gap opened up in the formation. The pack of wild dogs advanced, occupying the area around the carcass and holding a stable position. The situation changed. Control shifted to the pack of wild dogs. In this situation, the advantage lies not in sheer numbers, but in the ability to maintain organization and react at the right time. When the pack structure is broken, control quickly shifts to the side that still maintains a steady rhythm of movement. In an impala herd, the ears, eyes, and sense of smell are constantly active. If one animal detects danger, the entire herd reacts almost immediately, without needing clear signals. When pursued, they constantly change direction, split up, and then quickly regroup, disrupting the predator's coordination. At a stretch of river on the grassland, the pack of wild dogs positioned themselves on both banks, silently adjusting their formation. They didn't dive in immediately, waiting for the right moment. The pressure built up, forcing one impala to run into the water. As its speed decreased, one dog went in first, followed by the pack closing in from multiple directions. The confined space significantly reduced the impala's range of movement. The pack of wild dogs maintained their rhythm, sustained the pressure, and gradually closed the distance. The prey tried to keep swimming but couldn't create a safe distance. In a short time, it was subdued and pulled ashore. The chase ended, and the prey belonged to the pack of wild dogs. Along tropical and subtropical river and lake systems, crocodiles cling to the water's edge and the surrounding land. In Africa, they congregate at the Nile, Lake Victoria, and gentle shores to bask in the sun and ambush. Their ability to quickly move between water and land allows them to control intersections where prey often has to pass. On the dry grass near the water's edge, the pack of wild dogs spotted a crocodile basking in the sun on the bank. Instead of approaching directly, they circled around it and moved in different directions. The space around it narrowed, forcing the crocodile to constantly turn to observe and maintain its defensive posture. As it had to constantly turn, the crocodile's defensive rhythm became disrupted, and it sought an opening towards the water. The dogs maintained pressure, forcing their opponent to shift. When a gap appeared, the crocodile accelerated and plunged into the water, leaving its position on land. The dogs held the area above. Control of the area shifted to the pack of wild dogs. During the great migrations across the semi-arid grasslands of Africa, wildebeest move in massive herds, stretching thousands of kilometers each year. Millions of animals follow the rain and grass sources, forming a continuous, uninterrupted flow. A single unusual movement triggers a rapid reaction, causing the entire herd to change direction almost immediately. Along that movement, the pack of wild dogs didn't rush to close in, but followed closely behind, maintaining a steady pace. They didn't form a clear encirclement, but maintained a rhythmic tracking, waiting for a disruption to occur. When a wildebeest slowed down and deviated from the main line, the gap began to widen, separating it from the continuing movement ahead. The gap quickly widened as the wildebeest was unable to return to the pack. The pack of wild dogs maintained their pursuit, cutting across the direction of movement and forcing the target off course. Speed gradually decreased, and the prey lost its bearings. After a short time, it was subdued. The situation changed. The advantage shifted to the pack of wild dogs. In the savannas, woodlands, and semi-deserts of Africa, leopards have a wide range and often operate alone. In the Serengeti, it hunts antelope by hiding in the bushes, closing the distance to about 20 to 30 feet before approaching. Its spotted coat makes it difficult to spot, thus maintaining an advantage even when the distance is narrow. From the edge of the low grass, the pack of wild dogs changed direction, fanning out in circles and maintaining distance. Each dog approached closer, then paused before closing in again, but still maintaining a stable formation. While the leopard was still focused on its prey ahead, one dog accelerated, pulling the entire pack forward, breaking the leopard's ability to maintain distance. When the pressure increased suddenly, the leopard was forced to leave its position. It climbed a nearby tree to maintain distance, accepting the loss of its prey below. Below? The pack of wild dogs quickly took over the area and maintained a tight formation, leaving no gaps. The situation changed. The advantage shifted to the pack of wild dogs. Not every attack begins with movement. Sometimes it starts the moment distance disappears without warning. In near absolute silence, the hyena observes, adjusts, and only acts when the deviation is no longer present. Here, the outcome doesn't belong to the stronger one, but to the one who chooses the right moment when the opponent is no longer able to react. On the arid grasslands of Africa, the rhinoceros moves slowly but possesses superior strength. Weighing over 2.5 tons, with skin several centimeters thick and a horn nearly a meter long, it is powerful enough to toss large opponents. It can run at speeds exceeding 40 kilometers per hour when needed. This stability sometimes makes it complacent about surrounding movements. From a safe distance, the hyenas began observing and moving in wide circles around the rhinoceros. They didn't approach directly, but constantly shifted positions, trying to force their opponent to turn. When the distance was close enough, each hyena would take turns closing in and then quickly withdrawing, creating continuous pressure and prolonging the confrontation. The prolonged pressure forced the rhinoceros to constantly turn and butt to maintain distance. The hyenas took turns harassing it, slowing down its movements. When its stamina decreased, it was pushed out of its advantageous position and forced to retreat. This confrontation demonstrates that strength doesn't always determine success and contributes to maintaining ecological balance. Unlike many other predators, the cheetah optimizes its advantage through speed and timing rather than confrontation. It observes from a distance, approaches silently, and only explodes when the distance is close enough. After a short sprint, the prey is quickly subdued, but this is also when its energy is depleted, revealing a clearly weakened state. The momentary decline in its state was quickly recognized when a hyena, hungry for days, spotted the cheetah with its carcass. It shortened the distance, shifting from a cautious approach to a decisive close-range assault. Taken by surprise, the cheetah retreated, trying to hold on to its prey but lacking the strength to maintain it. The mounting pressure caused the cheetah to falter. Unable to sustain a fight after the hunt, it was forced to abandon its prey to avoid injury. This moment presented an opportunity, and the hyena quickly seized the prize, maintaining its full advantage. Taupus maintain a high level of vigilance when living in groups and have clearly defined observational roles. They can stand and observe for hours on high ground and signal when they see unusual movement. They react very quickly and prefer to leave early to maintain distance. When they separate and stop to rest, their vigilance decreases, creating a weakness that can be quickly exploited. From the exposed weak point, a hyena crept along the low grass, keeping the wind at its side to close the distance. At the right moment, it accelerated, forcing the taupi to turn and flee. The direction of escape constantly changed, while the predator maintained a steady rhythm and called for reinforcements, gradually controlling the distance and closing the gap. Once the distance was under control, a precise close-range attack on the hind leg caused the prey to lose balance. Immediately afterward, the others joined in, locking the direction and maintaining pressure. After many escape attempts, the taupi's stamina waned, and it was subdued, allowing the hyena pack to maintain the advantage until the end. Covering the sparse forests of Africa, the leopard begins its solitary journey with a slow, almost silent pace. It can crawl dozens of meters along the ground and only strikes when it is a few meters from its prey. If detected, it stops and retreats immediately. This preference for safety sometimes makes it vulnerable to being tracked. Shortly afterward, a pack of hyenas began to pursue the leopard as it crossed the open space. They spread out, maintaining distance and constantly shifting positions to cut off escape routes. When the leopard turned cautiously, sounds rang out. The encirclement gradually closed, and space began to shrink. The increasing pressure forced the leopard away from the area with large trees. It turned, growled, and tried to maintain distance, but couldn't last long. As its pace slowed, the hyenas closed in and blocked its escape route. After many attempts to defend itself, the leopard gradually lost strength, was subdued, and the hyenas took complete control of the situation. The transition from stalking to closing in clearly shows the difference between the two survival strategies. The leopard prioritizes safety and avoids conflict, while the hyenas utilize numbers and maintain pressure. When space shrinks, the leopard's advantage disappears, and a slight slowdown is enough to finish it off. In lions, every action is carefully considered beforehand, with observation and timing playing a crucial role in controlling the situation. Weighing between 120 and 180 kilograms, they can sprint to nearly 60 kilometers per hour over short distances, possessing very strong claws and jaws. Their ability to recognize roles and calculate approaches remains stable. When resting after a long journey, gaps in their vigilance gradually appear and begin to be exploited. A patch of sparse forest fell silent as the hyenas advanced in a dispersed formation, constantly changing positions and narrowing their range of movement. When the lion rose to warn them, one group of hyenas held the front. Another approached from behind, gradually taking control of the direction. With its direction controlled, the lion turned to counterattack, but its pace slowed. Short, repeated close-range attacks weakened its stamina. When it could no longer maintain distance, the hyenas simultaneously blocked its path, relentlessly pressing forward. After much resistance, the lion lost the initiative and was subdued. The loss of the initiative demonstrates that when pressure is sustained, the ability to control gradually diminishes. Small changes in pace and space are enough to reverse the situation, establishing an outcome in a short time. In the vast savanna, African elephants move through grasslands, woodlands, and even semi-deserts in search of water and food. A mature animal weighs many tons, capable of knocking down large trees and trampling enemies to death. Its trunk is powerful enough to overwhelm an opponent. This advantage persists until the formation widens, and small changes in distance begin to be noticed. Beyond the arid grasslands, the hyena pack stops when they spot a herd of elephants crossing the savanna. They disperse in various directions, silently observing and waiting for an opportunity when the calf falls behind, creating distance from the herd. When the time comes, the hyenas accelerate, closing in from multiple directions and forcing the mother elephant to turn defensively. The shrinking space forces the mother elephant to both shield her calf and find a way back to the herd. The trunk swinging and stomping only create short gaps. The hyenas continue to pursue, taking turns cutting in their path and maintaining pressure. As the distance widens, the calf is separated, and control shifts to the hyena pack, helping to maintain the ecological balance. In the grasslands of East and South Africa, such as Tanzania, Kenya, Namibia, and Botswana, herds of wildebeest move in constant search of grass and water. Each year, more than 1.5 million participate in the Serengeti migration, leaving Tanzania for Kenya when the dry season arrives. An adult weighs up to 600 pounds. A mere few feet deviation means an animal is immediately tracked. At the edge of the low grassland, a pack of spotted hyenas began observing the straggler. They maintained a spread, moving slowly and adjusting to the wind direction to avoid detection. When the prey lost focus, one hyena accelerated, while the others forced its way, closing the gap and maintaining pressure. The chase forced the wildebeest to accelerate to rejoin the pack, but it couldn't maintain the pace for long. It changed direction repeatedly and launched rear kicks to keep its distance, but to no avail. The hyenas took turns approaching, slowing the prey down. When close enough, one closed in, while the others blocked its path. The outcome favored the hyenas. The sustained pressure at the end shows that in dry grassland conditions, the advantage belongs to the side with better pace control. Just a few feet of distance and a moment of slowing down can decide the outcome. On the savanna, small deviations are usually only a one-time occurrence, and there's no chance of correction. In the vast skies and calm waters, birds of prey don't rely on sheer strength, but attack through timing, angle of approach, and precision. From above, the target is tracked, measured, and gradually loses its reaction time. When the dive begins, the distance closes almost instantly, and the outcome is often decided before the prey can change direction, creating tense and precise hunting moments. Where coastal cliffs and arid, rocky terrain meet the sky, pigeons choose narrow crevices dozens of feet high to live in, far from most predators on the ground. They usually fly low near their food sources, so each time they leave their safe position, they may leave a short gap. In mid-air, the peregrine falcon maintains its altitude, follows the flock, and reads the rhythm of their turns. It accumulates altitude and chooses its angle of entry. When one bird deviates from its trajectory, a high-speed dive is triggered, rapidly closing the distance, forcing the target to change direction under pressure and lose its rhythm. The situation becomes tense as the pigeons circle through the narrow space to escape. But the distance remains tight with each turn. The falcon calculates its flight path, closes in precisely, and controls the target. Finally, it closes when the gap is occupied, and the chance of escape disappears almost immediately. Amidst the sheer cliffs of the Rocky Mountains, mountain goats live at altitudes of thousands of feet, where the surface is almost vertical and very few creatures can reach them. They move along narrow ledges with incredible stability, thus creating a natural safe zone from most predators. From the air, the eagle circled far away, observing the goat's movements on the rocky slope and not rushing to swoop down. It maintained its distance, adjusting its flight path to the terrain. When the goat left its firm grip, the downward dive was launched, compressing the reaction space into a single direction. The moment of impact occurred on the edge of the rock as the goat tried to climb higher and resist but failed. The eagle maintained its momentum, relentlessly pressing down, causing the prey to lose its balance. At that moment, the prey no longer had a point of leverage to turn, its fate sealed right on the cliff. In shallow bodies of water such as lakes, calm rivers, and estuaries in the Americas, schools of fish often move close to the surface to feed. The water is relatively clear and has few obstructions, making their silhouettes easily visible from above, especially when light shines directly down. Perched just above the surface of the lake, the osprey maintains a stable position, observing every movement underwater. It doesn't sweep in large circles, but makes small, precise movements to gauge the angle. The moment the target becomes clear, a nearly vertical drop is launched, piercing the water's surface and locking onto the point of contact in an instant. The fish struggles to escape, but the gap closes too quickly to create enough distance. The osprey grips with its barbed claws, lifts it out of the water, and leaves the area. The seal closes at the point of contact, rendering all escape routes ineffective. In vast grasslands and savannas, snakes typically inhabit low-lying grasses, where they can hide and move discreetly. The sparse vegetation facilitates hunting, while making any movement easily detectable from above, especially when they leave their cover. Perched atop the rocky outcrops, the hawk remained stationary, its eyes fixed on the subtle movements beneath the grass. It didn't approach, waiting for the opportune moment. When the snake revealed itself, the swooping down was sudden, locking onto its target in a brief instant, giving the snake no time to react. The snake reacted instinctively, coiling and attempting to defend itself, but it couldn't create any safe distance. The hawk maintained its superior position from above, controlling its target and cutting off its escape route. Thus, the moment of exposure became the decisive factor in the outcome. Under the sparse forest canopy and forest edge, where moonlight still filters to the ground, snakes often move slowly under layers of dry leaves or around tree trunks to hunt prey. This environment allows them to hide effectively, while making any small movements easily detectable from above. High up in a tree branch at night, the owl remained still, observing the snake slithering on the ground. It barely moved, waiting for the moment its prey revealed itself. The moment the covering was removed, its wings unfolded and the attack was silent, forcing its opponent to react in a tight space. The snake reacted hastily as it changed direction and coiled defensively, but it didn't have time to create a safe distance. The owl maintained its advantage from above, controlling its target and finishing the hunt. Therefore, precision in that moment determined the entire outcome. In the shallow, muddy swamps of Africa, fish species such as lungfish, catfish, and mudfish thrive in environments with limited visibility and abundant food. They often surface to breathe or move slowly near the water's surface, and it is these moments that reveal their location. In the still water, the slipper heron stands motionless, its eyes locked on the movement below, maintaining that position for an extended period. It relies not on speed, but on patience. When the fish approaches the surface, it strikes instantly, concentrating all its force into a single point. The fish attempts to dive deeper to escape, but its escape route is blocked. The slipper heron firmly grasps the fish and lifts it out of the water. The outcome becomes clear when all escape routes are cut off in the same instant, demonstrating that precise timing dictates the entire course of events. In the vast, dry savanna grasslands, kangaroos live in areas with few large trees but ample open space for rapid movement. They are adapted to hot, dry climates and can function even in water-scarce conditions. So their advantage lies in their strong jumping ability and their capacity to maintain distance on the ground. From atop the grass, the eagle observed the kangaroo moving alone, maintaining a steady flight path, minimizing its visible movements. Without warning, it suddenly swooped down from above, closing in relentlessly, causing the kangaroo to panic and flee, but it was still relentlessly pursued. The kangaroo reacted immediately, turning and using its hind legs to maintain distance when approached, but its mid-air movements made the confrontation disadvantageous. The eagle continuously applied pressure from above, disrupting the kangaroo's movement rhythm. Finally, it forced the prey to retreat, and the confrontation ended when the prey could no longer maintain the initiative. On the vast grasslands and prairies of North America and Europe, rabbits live in open environments where they can easily spot danger and quickly escape. They don't dig deep burrows like many other animals, but usually hide in tall grass, so their survival depends on speed and reflexes. In the prairie sky, a hawk stalks a foraging rabbit. Maintaining distance and minimizing its presence, it circles, timing its dive, When the target reveals itself, it launches, rapidly closing the distance and forcing the prey to react in panic. The events unfold in a flash as the rabbit immediately zigzags to escape. But the gap narrows too quickly. The hawk maintains its momentum, closing in relentlessly and controlling its target. The outcome is sealed when all escape routes are blocked, demonstrating that speed in the air dictates the entire course of events. Beneath the vast ocean surface, where visibility is limited and every movement is difficult to discern, orcas approach their target with absolute silence and control. They don't charge immediately but observe, maintain distance, and wait for the moment when their opponent loses their rhythm or reveals a gap in their movement. When the time comes, the orca accelerates, delivers a precise and swift blow, quickly turning the confrontation into a situation where the outcome is almost certain. Across the oceans, from cold to tropical waters, humpback whales migrate in long cycles, notable for their complex songs and powerful protective behavior towards their young. Mother whales always stay close to their offspring and are ready to confront danger. But the constant movement to shield them in open spaces builds up increasing stress. From a distance, the orca pod spotted the mother whale and calf, and silently followed them, observing their every movement before suddenly closing the distance. The prolonged chase weakened the calf, and the mother whale tried to protect it but was pulled off course. The orcas continuously controlled the position and gained complete dominance in the confrontation. Under the ocean, strength and size may provide a temporary advantage in a confrontation. However, against coordinated efforts and persistent tactics, that advantage gradually crumbles. When all directions of movement are controlled and pressure is constantly maintained, the final outcome is almost impossible to change. Great white sharks primarily inhabit temperate and subtropical seas around the world, often appearing near coastlines, islands, or areas with large seal populations. They prefer cold, nutrient-rich waters and can travel long distances across oceans in search of prey and suitable habitats. Deep in the ocean, where light is almost non-existent, an orca moves silently. Above, a great white shark drifts along unnoticed by the current. Suddenly, the orca changes course and accelerates, surging up from the shallow water, launching a precise attack that completely overwhelms its opponent. The chase quickly escalates as the shark tries to maintain a steady course to escape the close pursuit. But the orca constantly adjusts its position and closes the distance, destabilizing the shark's swimming rhythm. The orca continues to ram from multiple directions. The shark loses its ability to resist and is dragged down into the deep water, the situation ending with the orca winning. In the vast ocean, advantage lies not only in strength, but also in the ability to control position and timing of attacks. When pressure is maintained continuously and the pace is completely dominated, the initial advantage is quickly replaced. Ultimately, the situation usually tilts in favor of the superior being. In shallow coastal waters, stingrays often hide under layers of sand or mud, blending into their environment to avoid detection. They are abundant in lagoons and estuaries, where the water is calm and food sources are plentiful, thus maintaining a natural defensive advantage. In shallow waters near the shore, an orca tracks a stingray swimming close to the surface, unaware of the approaching danger. Suddenly, it lunges upwards from below at high speed, delivering a powerful impact that disorients the stingray. After a brief escape attempt, the orca quickly regains control and gains the upper hand. When the advantage of concealment is gone, adaptability becomes limited. This encounter is not simply a chase, but a shift in advantage between two different environments. And in a controlled space, the initiative will lean towards maintaining consistent pressure. In frigid seas, seals live near icebergs as a natural defense mechanism. They carve fixed breathing holes in the ice and often return to the same spot to survive, gathering in large groups to detect danger from afar. However, staying in one spot for too long reveals obvious vulnerabilities. On the ice floes, a group of orcas begins to move around the area where a seal is resting. They maintain their position and observe instead of attacking immediately, gradually closing the circle to control the surrounding space. When the right moment arrives, the entire group accelerates and pushes waves against the ice floe, creating a significantly escalating pressure. The orcas use their large bodies to forcefully ram the ice floe, creating a collision that shakes the surface. The seal loses its balance and slips from its safe position, falling into the water passively. All attempts to maintain distance are ineffective as the orca pack approaches from multiple directions and maintains constant pressure. The final outcome is that they drag the seal down into the deep water, with the orcas having established complete dominance. In the ocean environment, the deciding factor is not size, but the ability to occupy space and choose the right moment. When the pace of movement is constantly controlled, initial advantages can easily be reversed, and the outcome is often determined very quickly. In oceans ranging from tropical to subpolar, sperm whales primarily inhabit deep waters near ocean trenches and steep continental shelves. They can dive to depths of thousands of meters to hunt squid, quickly surfacing to breathe before returning to the darker water layers. However, as their protective formations become spread out over vast spaces, weaknesses gradually appear in their defensive structure. Far out in the ocean, a group of orcas spotted a pod of sperm whales and silently followed them, maintaining a vantage point before exploiting a gap in their formation to quickly approach. One group distracted the adults, while the others pressured the juveniles, disrupting the formation. The struggle dragged on as the orcas continuously seized space and took control. In the ocean's struggle for survival, speed isn't always the deciding factor. When relentlessly pursued, escape routes gradually narrow. With superior coordination and hunting skills, the orcas progressively gained control of the situation, stripping their prey of its initial advantage and ending the confrontation with complete dominance. In the cold seas of the southern hemisphere, penguins live in large colonies near the ice edge, where they take advantage of the icy environment to avoid predators and coordinate when foraging. They often swim in groups to herd prey into smaller groups and increase hunting efficiency. But when one penguin leaves the group and dives into the water alone, the protective distance gradually diminishes. Beneath the icy water, an orca silently approaches the penguin colony, waiting for the opportune moment before suddenly launching an attack, creating a tense chase. The penguins constantly change direction to escape, but the orca remains relentless, controlling their position. Ultimately, the orca completely overwhelms them and wins the confrontation. In harsh, freezing conditions, collective coordination sometimes helps maintain safety in the early stages. However, when the formation breaks down and movement becomes unbalanced, the advantage gradually disappears. When the distance is no longer maintained, the outcome often becomes irreversible. Across a wide range of ocean environments, from tropical to temperate, and even in murky river systems, dolphins adapt flexibly to diverse habitats. They often move in pods near the surface where food is abundant, using echolocation to maintain communication and detect danger. But when a member leaves the group, the safe distance is gradually broken. From the deep water, an orca spotted a pod of dolphins and stealthily approached, maintaining distance before suddenly accelerating to initiate a chase. The dolphins scattered, but one individual was separated from the group and became the target. The chase quickly escalated as the orca maintained its pursuit, narrowing the escape route and dislodging its prey, ending with it gaining complete dominance. From the entire sequence of events, it's clear that speed and agility sometimes provide an initial advantage in a confrontation. However, when space is controlled and pressure is maintained, that advantage quickly diminishes. When the pace is completely dominated, the outcome often tends towards an irreversible conclusion. Along the Pacific coast, from the west coast of North America down to South America and the offshore islands, sea lions inhabit the transitional zone between land and ocean. They congregate in large numbers on rocky shores and immediately enter the water upon spotting prey. But when an individual leaves the group and swims away from the shoreline, the collective protection gradually weakens. From the depths of the water, an orca spotted a pride of sea lions and silently observed them, then suddenly approached from below, initiating a tense chase. The sea lions tried to swim to safety, but the orca continuously controlled their movement, blocking their escape and gaining the complete advantage. Between land and ocean, every advantage can change in an instant. As the distance narrows and their movement is controlled, escape becomes more difficult. When there is no longer any safe space, the outcome of the confrontation is almost decided. Through each confrontation, orcas do not rely on individual strength, but use coordination, positional control, and timing to gain a clear advantage. When the opponent's movement rhythm is disrupted, their ability to retaliate quickly diminishes, and the situation gradually takes an irreversible turn. In the vast ocean, where mistakes can happen in an instant, the one who controls the space always determines the final outcome.